I'm Dominic Raab. I live here in Claygate with my wife Erica, and I'm the Conservative Parliamentary candidate for the Esher and Walton constituency. Gordon Brown has finally called the general election, and I'm looking forward to campaigning over the next 4 weeks. There's a very clear choice on May the 6th. We can have 5 more years of failure under Gordon Brown and Labour, or we can have change under David Cameron and a Conservative government. And I believe there are 3 crucial issues here in this constituency and for the country at large. First of all, how can we revive our flagging economy? Second, how can we strengthen the fabric of our society? And third, how can we start down the long road towards rebuilding public trust in our democracy? When it comes to our economy, we've had 13 years of excessive taxation and regulation under Labour. Britain is coming through the worst recession it's faced since the war, with the highest budget deficit it's faced since the war. If you look at the big picture, Britain's economic competitiveness has dropped from 7th to 14th place on international rankings. Down here locally, I've been up and down the high streets from East Molesey to Cobham, gauging the impact of the economic downturn. I don't believe that the same people, the same party, the same government that got us into this mess are the right people to get us out of it. That's why we need change under a Conservative government that is committed to cutting the bulk of the budget deficit within 5 years and making the savings necessary to avoid putting taxes up on jobs. That's why this whole debate about national insurance is so important. Labour have proposed putting up national insurance, a tax on jobs, but the Conservatives have pledged to reverse that tax increase for 7 out of 10 people, saving them up to £150 a year. Business leaders up and down the country have backed those plans. So the difference is clear. Under a Conservative government, there'll be more economic opportunity, more jobs, and most people will be left with more money in their pockets. But Labour haven't just failed our economy, they've also failed our society. We've seen rising welfare dependency, rising violent crime, and we have the worst problem drug abuse in Britain in the whole of Europe. When it comes to our public services, we've invested billions, but they're still not delivering as they should be. Here in Surrey, under Labour, taxpayers pay the Chancellor £5.5 billion each year, but we get back a quarter of the funding that somewhere like Manchester gets for local public services. If I'm elected as your MP, I'm going to be fighting for a fairer deal for local public services. But we've also got to improve the quality of our public services, and that means national level reform to get rid of the bureaucracy, the central targets, the micromanagement from Whitehall, and get a renewed focus on discipline and standards in the classroom, to clean up our hospitals and make sure that they're run by the professionals, doctors and nurses, not NHS managers, and to make sure that our police are not tied up with red tape but are spending more of their time on the street where the public want to see them. But when the Conservatives talk about society, we don't just mean state-run services. We also believe in supporting institutions like family. Under Labour's tax and welfare system, the average couple is £12,000 better off each year if they split up. The Conservatives think that must be wrong, and a Conservative government will recognise the long-term commitment that goes with marriage or civil partnerships in the tax and welfare system. We believe family is the best social safety net we've got. We've also seen a wholesale collapse of public confidence in our political system, and I'm as disgusted and as frustrated as all of you with what we've seen in the recent MP expenses scandal. It's affected all parties, and it's going to take a long time to rebuild public confidence. But we do have an opportunity on the 6th of May to get rid of some of the bad apples, but also to vote in a new wave of candidates like me who are really serious about cleaning up our politics and rebuilding public trust. I also think David Cameron was right to take a lead in pressing Gordon Brown to get a new expenses rulebook into law before this election and to set up a new independent oversight mechanism. Here in Esher and Walton, I was selected to be the Conservative candidate by open primary. That means that the local association opened up the process and allowed every single resident living here, whether or not they're a Conservative Party member, to come along to Sandown Park on the 21st of November last year and ask questions, have their say and vote in the Conservative candidate. I'm the only parliamentary candidate in Esher and Walton who has been selected that way, and it means that I've been accountable to this community right from the start. I'm looking forward to debating all of the issues with all of the candidates in the weeks ahead. Now, I know that many people still feel deeply frustrated about politics, but on the 6th of May you get an opportunity to vote for change. Whatever your political views, I hope you take it.